Welcome to the third round of this tournament here. I am displaying or showing 5 rounds in total. And here we have Villas against Christian. And they are going to first here ban a deck from the opponent that they don't want to see. There's a lot of mind games here and a lot of stuff I've cut out because it takes time. And we see Storm cut from Villas, so he cannot play this ill-gotten gains combo deck with access to Brain Freeze also through the sideboard. Pretty powerful stuff here, and Villas being a legacy player, or used to be legacy player, this is right up his alley. From Christian, Villas chose to ban this Hermit deck, maybe because it's too fast and he cannot interact with it. That's at least my thought here, why he banned this. And let's go on to see what they choose to play. Now, there is still a mind game going on, and I've cut out a ton of footage here because it took them some time. But they have to choose the deck that they want to play, and Villas is choosing between Landstill and Psychatog, and Christian is between Goblins and Rifter. Here you see Villas looking up some of Christian's decks. They are allowed to do that before the games start. So in this process they can still take a look, and they have chosen their decks. Before going to the decks that they chose, we will first look at the decks they didn't choose. So here is Villas with Landstill. Beautiful deck, a lot of powerful lands, draw spells, counters, spot removal, some mass removal. Just a very, very powerful deck here. And we see Christian not choosing this Goblins list. Maybe he was afraid to play against Landstill with Wrath. It can be tough, and Landstill, of course, as well. And that's probably why he chose to go with his Rifter plan. And here we see the Psychatog list. Beautiful list, and very nice versions of the cards, and even some foils in here. This deck is powerful, and in the right hands it's difficult to handle. And in a format where you can ban decks, this gets much better. A thing to notice is also Villas has chosen 3 blue decks, and I really like that. I think it's a smart play in this kind of format where you can choose 3 decks, because normally if you see a blue deck you ban it, and then you can create your sideboard so that you are ready to handle non-blue decks, but not here. And I think that's a brilliant way of doing this. Here we see Rifter from Christian. A classic deck. I think it was 2nd place in a European Championship a few years back, but it has since rotated out because Dreadnought is difficult to handle for this deck, especially with the Tide. This was recorded before the Tide ban. I know it's banned now, but bringing a Rifter deck into a Tide meta is brave, but you can ban Tide. You can just ban the Tide deck that the opponent might have. So smart play here. I really like this list. There are a lot of modern prints of cards, so I will choose a few to show on screen when the decks are in action here. But this is looking like a long one. Let's get some games in here. I could have cut out this part, but dropping a dice and then losing is not a good start here. But Villas is keeping 7 while I do this transition here. Christian is mulligan down to 6. Villas is taking a last pick on the phone also, but it should be put away for the rest of this match here. We do see lands and spells. I don't quite see what the spells are, but we see planes go, important, on himself here from Villas. Battlefield Forge into a Lightning Rift here. Villas also takes a look because it has changed art, and well, if it's a new border and same art, it's quite easy to spot what the card is. But I like that Christian is taking this approach of wanting to own the cards, don't want to spend a ton of money on it, and just wants to play. Duress here. Taking a look at these Renewed Faith, and discarding one of those. A dragon would not make sense here to discard. Cycling a dragon and pinging with the rift, which is the plan of this deck. Just take it slow. Maybe you deploy a dragon, maybe you don't. Maybe just cycle through a bunch of stuff and letting your opponent go to zero the slow way. Playing down the plains and shipping the turn. Cycles an AK here from Villas. And Duress. Mind you, that is a foil dress, quite beautiful. Chooses to gain some life and ping by cycling the Renewed Faith, and we see one target here, which is a Wrath of God. The Wrath does have the same art as the 7th edition, so easy to spot here. Cycles dragon, finding a land, pinging for 1. Villas at 14 already. And Intuition. Intuition is nice. Finding 3 AKs with 1 in the yard, so it's draw 4 cards here with that AK. Which is a good plan with Psychatog. We haven't seen any swords yet, but a Wrath is gone, so Villas might be concerned with that. But here is the Psychatog. The yard is already filling up, and we do know of an AK that can draw into 4 more cards. So this is a problem for Christian, with Villas representing quite a fast clock here. They're just counting the cards in the yard. Christian taking a damage to cycle a land here, and pings. Goes to untap. Probably in a hurry to find an answer. Now he's grouping up like he has the Wrath of God. He does. He does have the Wrath of God. It is countered with a circular logic. But do we see the sword as well? It looks like it. Certainly looks like it. And we're just talking about how it happened. So with the circular logic on the stack, it is sorted. So that's 1 less life gain from Villas, unless he thinks that he needs life. He doesn't. He might have another one coming. He gets 1 life. So at 12. Draw 4 cards for 2 mana. Quite the card here. And we do see spells from Villas and Christian having 1 card in hand. The problem with this Rift deck is the ability to draw cards is hindered by the color choice. So no blue, no green for Sylvan, no black for Scryings, no nothing. Just white and red here. So sending a turn up, but does have dragon in hand, so pseudo draw. He can draw planes. And Psychatog is deployed again. Another one. So now we have the 2 Wrath are gone. And still having 3 swords in the deck is something that he probably needs to dig up now. Fetching. Gosh. Paying the alternative cost of drawing 2 cards. With a Gush, you play a Gush, you gain a total of 4 cards in hand. That's +4/+4, and those same 4 cards can be removed to push the power of the Psychatog even more. So he might just go for it here. Gush and AK with a Psychatog that can attack is powerful. So he swings and he needs to count it up. He needs to be able to count to 20 here. And he does it one at a time, playing it out as you should do. So now it's 5 power, 6 power here. 7. Will he have enough? Did he count it correctly? He is probably holding a circular logic since he didn't want to remove his whole graveyard at once here, but only a few. Gosh. Three lands. That's 4, 5, 6. Keeping cards in hand. Only 3 though. I'll have a big dice here. That's 9. No, 12, 17, 18. Okay, this is enough. This is enough. So what will happen? Cycling. So Vilas is put on 6. Don't think you can burn him out here. Cycle. Ping. So at 4. Cycle again. At 3. No. Not enough here. We saw a big Psychatog and we saw some cycling, and that is game 1 here. Moving on to the second game. Yeah, shuffling up, cutting decks, as you are supposed to. You should never just shuffle and pick up 7 cards. If you want to show that you are legit, you should present your deck, and they did. So no, Vilas is taking a mulligan, going to 6 here, and again, let's see if this is better. Okay, he keeps 6 and Plains pass, Island pass. Battlefield Forge into a Rift, which is countered by an Null. Great sideboard card against this deck. He needs his enchantment to stay on the field. Portent on himself, setting something up, looking for something. I wish I had the ability to see what were in the player's hands, but that requires a lot more cameras from my end here, and as this is just a hobby, I am not earning anything from this, so probably not going to happen. I did watch some streams where they had face cameras, and some streamers also have a camera for their hand when they play webcam. I think that looks nice, but I don't have the equipment. Okay, finding A planes here. I'm just dropping down lands. Land pass looks like. Renewed faith. Just to cycle into something that he can do. He does have the inevitability of the dragons. Okay, now we see something here. Yeah, this Fact or Fiction shows some nice cards. He needs to play Fact or Fiction when Christian is tapped out, because getting a Fact or Fiction red blasted is not very nice. Annul Prohibit, Psychatog, Zombie Infestation, and Powder Keg. Powder Keg seems a little bit irrelevant, but it is good against the creatures, the 1/1s or the angels. So the token generator from Decree. He chooses the 3-card pile, as you often end up doing. Back to Christian. He at least have a land drop. And he tries to deploy a Lightning Rift with Villas tapped out. He deploys a second Lightning Rift with Villas tapped out. Nice turn here. Although he let a Fact or Fiction resolve, he deployed 2 very powerful cards for his deck. Villas is just considering his options. A Powder Keg is deployed, the one we knew of. So there is a little bit glare here, but we do know that is a Powder Keg. So one of the rifts gets blasted with Blue Elemental Blast. Good target for Blue Elemental Blast, that is. Don't know what they discussed there, but there was a little check on the phone and a pointing finger to the rift. Maybe they're talking about Powder Keg and Rift. Powder Keg only targeting creatures and artifacts. An Oromancer is played. It is memory lapsed, so put on top of the library instead of in the graveyard. Oromancer is nice when you know that your opponent can bring in annuls, so that you have more ways of deploying those enchantments. Adept Res sees only lands in hand. Looks like Christian might not have a play here, but he does, because he has the dragon, so he can at least keep cycling the dragon and returning it, because he is getting to a point where he has a lot of lands in play to do that. Returning the dragon goes to draw the Oromancer. Okay, in response, it is Blue Elemental blasted. Okay, has a red elemental blast now, which is sort of just another sword to plowshares. And of course a dragon in hand. But without a rift in play, the dragon is not as powerful in this deck as it could be. Zombie infestation is played, and the dragon is discarded here for planes. The players are playing this game quick, but even though they are not taking a ton of time with each interaction that they can have, it is a long game. So discounting to some infestation, just to be able to counter. It is red elemental blasted, and the red elemental blast is prohibited. Don't know if that was the correct way of playing that red elemental blast, but he needs his rifts to do damage. Okay, so now Villas has a 2-2, which can probably go the distance, at least for a little while. I don't know if it can go the full distance, but it can certainly take some life points away from Christian. And well, you know it. It's a cycling of a dragon, and there is a plains. Very dark plains, almost looks like a swamp, but it is a plains, and it is deployed. Cycle. And goes to untap here. Getting the dragon back. With a total of 8 planes, so he can keep doing this for a little while, but he is running out of planes. I'm counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 planes, so maybe one more time he can do this. We do see a zombie deployed and an engineered plague on soldiers. So he cannot just deploy some soldiers to take care of those zombies. I don't see what he has in hand other than the drag. Okay, he has the tutor. This tutor is from Summer Clash, I believe. I do have videos of that tournament up on the channel, so if you want to check out where he got those from, or this one from, you can check that out. But I like altered prizes so that you have sort of a trophy from a tournament instead of just a card that is expensive. I think that's more the pre-modern vibe I like. So here we see a dragon actually in play as a dragon, and we see a rift. And another dragon is returned. Swings for 5. So Villas is at 11, but with a cycle, he can deal some damage and take out some zombies. So looking good for Christian here. Looks like he's getting back in this game, although it looked quite bad at first. Villas swings. Christian at 10. Dragon is returned to hand. Not having any exiling removal is annoying if you are on the side that is against those dragons, because now it's lethal on board here for Christian. Villa's thinking of his outs, if there are any. Swings, blocks. Powder Keg the Crypt and his own zombie. And Crypt is activated in response. Trying to portent here. No, packs it in. This game here is just a 1-1 game because they ran out of time. They had 3 minutes for the last game, so they have a draw. Before ending the video, I just want to ask you if you were to play in this kind of tournament where you can bring 3 decks and it's unified rules, so a maximum of 4 of each card throughout the decks. So if you want to play Wastelands in 2 decks, you have to split it 2-2 or 3-1. You cannot play 4 in each. Which decks would you bring?